My name is Marcel Nadaf. I'm the Regional Healthcare Director for Walgreens in the Midwest region, and Missouri is part of my region. We are very pleased to be joined here today by Governor Mike Parson, who shortly after taking office signed a series of bills to address the opioid epidemic. Just last week, Governor Parson held a roundtable discussion as he focused on the state's health care. I'm also happy to be joined here today by St. Louis City Mayor Lyda Krewson. Welcome, ma'am. Peter Stokes from Amerisource-Bergen, as well as Drew Duncan and Christine Smith from Pfizer, representing two of the healthcare organizations Walgreens partners with to expand the safe medication disposal around the country. Also, we have many other friends and guests attending, so welcome to everybody. In a moment, I will invite the governor to discuss his work in combating the abuse and misuse of opioid in Missouri. But first, I wanted to take a moment to highlight the Walgreens Safe Medication Disposal Program. We are very excited to be here today, bringing to Missouri a program we began in 2016 to help curb the misuse of medications and combat the national opioid abuse crisis. Safe medication disposal kiosks like this one are now available year-round in 14 select Walgreens locations across the state of Missouri. These kiosks allow Missourians to safely and conveniently dispose of their unwanted prescriptions, including controlled substance and over-the-counter medication, at no cost to them. Today, we have more than 1,000 of these kiosks across 46 states and Washington, D.C. And I'm very proud to say that we have been truly inspired by the response of the safe medication disposal kiosk from communities around the country. Just in the past 2 years, we have collected over 400 tons of unwanted medications from across the country since the program began. That is more than the weight of a 777 jetliner and tells us that there is a demand for a safe and convenient way to dispose of medications. Expanding this drug take-back program to 1,500 Walgreens across the states in 2019 is a significant step in our commitment to minimizing prescription drug abuse and being part of a comprehensive solution to reverse the opioid abuse epidemic. We need to make the safe disposal of medication easier, and these kiosks do just that. I'm proud to say that we, as a company, are leading the way in the fight against prescription drug abuse. Thank you again for attending this event today. And now let me introduce to you our Governor, Mike Parson.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is good to be here today. Good to be in St. Louis and here with Walgreens. Really setting the example of where we're headed to try to do your part to help with the opioid problem across the country and here in our state. Great to be here with the mayor and the representative for what they do. Last week we were at a summit talking about opioid problems this state is facing, and but I'm also optimistic with things like these kiosks that we're doing, with the private sector joining with a lot of the government agencies to try to fight this problem in our state. Needless to say, it's a challenge for all of us to be able to figure out solutions for this, but I truly believe we are making headway. Things are going to get better, and when we look at things like we're here today for, giving the public the opportunity to get rid of some of these drugs that are just laying around in everybody's households, and I think it's important to remember that. I also think it's important to remember that over 50% of the drugs that we're talking about with the opioid problems across this state and in this country comes from friends or family members that currently have that in their residence. And to be able to have these kiosks in places like Walgreens, where people will be much more easier to drop that off and have them destroyed than having to go to a law enforcement agency or try to do that. For multiple reasons, it becomes unhandy. But the reality of it is convenience to come into one of these stores and be able to destroy this product. But really, this is the really example this should be today, is the private sector doing their part to help combat the war on opioids across this country and here in this state. And for myself as governor of the state of Missouri, the mayor and the representatives to work with these private entities to try to figure out how do we make a difference in our state? And with these kind of things that we're doing today, the kind of examples that Walgreens putting forward is how we really will change, and we'll be able to fight this opioid problem that we have all in our state and across this country. So with that, it is an honor and privilege to be here today as the 57th governor of the state of Missouri. Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. And now I'll introduce you to our Mayor, Lyda Krewson.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for being here today. And Governor, thank you for being here with us in St. Louis to really to kick off the safe medication disposal kiosks at Walgreens here in Missouri. Drug abuse, we all know, is a very serious issue across the country and, of course, in St. Louis as well. And we know that the majority of young people who abuse prescription drugs get them from friends and family and from their own medicine cabinets. So the important thing that we can do is to take a look at our medicine cabinets, each and every one of us, and bring our old medicines, excess medicines, to the Walgreens kiosk right here on Southampton, because that will give you a safe way to dispose of those medications and keep them out of the hands of folks that you don't want to have them in their hands. I think that Walgreens has collected, you mentioned, more than 400 tons of unwanted prescriptions across the United States with the program that you launched in 2016. I want to just say that I'm grateful for the support of Governor Parson. It has been great to work with you on the opioid issues that we have here. And Walgreens, thank you. Thank you for leading the way on this for us here in Missouri. Governor Parson, as some of you know, signed this bill into law when he came into office not too many months ago. And so it hasn't taken long for Walgreens to step up and place the first kiosk right here at the Southampton location. So thank you, Walgreens. I think this is going to be an effective way for all of us to easily dispose of our medications. And so look in your bathroom medicine cabinet or in those drawers where you have stashed those old prescriptions and bring them here to Walgreens. Thank you.
Peter, are you ready? Yes, sir. Now I'll introduce you to Peter Stokes from AmerisourceBergen, one of our healthcare partners in launching these kiosks.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be here. Thank you, and thank you, Walgreens. Thank you to Governor Parson. Thank you to Representative Behringer. Thank you to Mayor Krewson. This is a very important initiative, and as a supply chain partner, we take this role seriously. We're very concerned about the opioid epidemic, as both Governor Parson and as Mayor Krewson mentioned. A majority, if not 2/3, of all the drugs that are young people that actually get addicted to drugs and opioids, they start in the home, whether it's a friend or a family member. That's where it begins. And so we're very committed to doing our part. The kiosks are a very important part of this. We're looking at rolling out another 1,500 of these over the next year and a half, 2 years. So it's a very important initiative. There's no single solution to address this. It takes every healthcare provider being at the table. And so I want to thank Pfizer, and I want to thank Prime Pharmaceuticals as well for being a part of this initiative and helping fund this. And we are committed to continuing this initiative over the next 2 years. So with that, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Governor Parson. Thank you, Mayor Krewson. Thank you, Representative Behringer. Thank you.